Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at some mobilization techniques for the chest, more scientifically the anterior shoulder. The reason why this is so important is because most of us are sitting for long periods of time and we adapt to this rounded forward position. When I'm in that rounded forward position, you're probably thinking, okay, like your chest is tight, but what does that have to do with anything? Well, if your chest is tight and you're rounding forward, that's going to cause tremendous pressure on your upper back and your traps. So a lot of my clients come to me and say, Alex, my upper back hurts. I don't understand why. Starting with the chest is a really good place to start, because if you can loosen up and mobilize the tissues in the anterior shoulder, you're going to be able to stay upright and draw the shoulders back. The more we can prevent rounding forward, the less likely you're going to be to experience that upper back pain that you get from sitting all day in your office. For this mobilization, I'm going to be using a tennis ball. You can also use a lacrosse ball or a soft ball, anything that's hard, but you don't have to break the bank on this. Just a simple tennis ball will be good for most people to start with. Okay guys, so for the first mobilization, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this tennis ball or lacrosse ball and I'm going to put it right here. So my collarbone is here. I'm going to try and get it just below the collarbone. All this area here is good for mobilization, all on top of the shoulder. So I take the ball, I'm going to jam it into the area. You can twist left and right. So like right here, for example, it really hurts. Now I'm going to stay on this spot, twist a little bit left and right, get a good head position, lean down. You can move your arm a little bit, but you want to find all the tight areas here and work through the knots and just jam them out. Obviously, you're going to repeat on the other side as well. All right, guys, second mobilization. We're going to be getting it into that same area, but we're going to add a little more pressure and we're going to use the ground as a pivot point. So here we go. I lay down on the ground. I'm going to position my ball right into that sensitive area, right underneath the shoulder here, and I'm going to extend my arms. So let me just move over a little bit. Now, from here, I have a couple points I can work from. Right now, my arm's extended sideways. I can loop my arm around just like I'm being handcuffed with my one arm. All the way back around, and you can work on your range of motion all the way up to that overhead position. Trying to keep tension on that ball. When you find some tight areas, roll through. Again, 2 to 3 minutes or so per side. Now guys, some people, say for example, you're doing this at work. Maybe you don't want to get down, lay down on the ground and do that at work. No problem. So what you can do is you can use the corner of a wall to do the same mobilization. It's not going to be as effective because obviously you won't be able to drop all your body weight down, but it's still very good. So check it out. I'm going to line myself up on the wall. That same area, I'm going to jam it against the door here. Same thing. I'm just going to work on my mobilization from here. Last part of this series is going to be just your basic chest stretch on a wall or a door frame. So what I'm going to do is line myself up here. My arm is just a little bit lower than my shoulder. I'm going to straighten out my arms. I like to point my fingertips backwards. So I line myself up on the wall, pressing my palm against the wall here, straightening the arm. I'm just going to turn sideways. Now you should be getting a stretch all through the chest here. If you want to increase it a little bit, tuck your chin down, drop your head down, and look the opposite way from the stretch. This is going to tie in the trap here. This is a tremendous stretch if you do it properly. Okay guys, so that's 3 things that you can do to start to mobilize your chest for the anterior shoulder. Now again, just to recap what we did here, we did the stretch, or sorry, not the stretch, we did the mobilization where you're on the bench here, jamming this in manually into yourself. Second mobilization we did is laying flat on the ground or using the wall as a pivot point and I jam it against the wall. Third part of the mobilization is a chest stretch on the wall.